Yo, it's Guido coming at you with the Tactics Talk, and we have Captain Carberry and his Chaffee on one of the best scouting maps there is. We are on Proc, and he has spawned into the North Spawn. He's headed for the Magic Bush. Will he make it? Well, I happen to know he does make it, actually, and this is a pretty good passive scouting bush. This has changed a little bit. I haven't actually been up here since it's changed. There used to be some trees here as well. This is not nearly as magic a bush area as it used to be. But holy cow, he has made it into the Magic Bush, so let's see what happens. He actually gets a mark and an ace here, and he ends up finishing LT 15, which I believe was either the Stug or the HTC 28 or whatever that thing's called level. So this is a first look. I haven't seen this. I know the result, but I don't know how it goes. And I like that he's not shooting. This is a good plan. If you shoot right here, you will be spotted and shredded, and you will lose your spot. But this poor guy is just fodder for Captain Carberry's spotting damage. And I was waiting for the KV2. Now what the problem here is, these guys are not really close enough to get good shots on this KV2. They don't want to be too close. I'm not even sure they're in draw distance. I suppose they are. Yeah, they would be. The Churchill and the other guys are definitely in draw distance. There's some artillery going in, and Captain is really racking up some spotting damage here. He's at 419. KV2R is still spotted. T-34 is now rolling around, coming up into here. And you will notice that the KV2R has moved back, and this Type 64 keeps... Oh, look at him. He's actually shooting into the bush. He knows the Captain's there. Did you see that shot come in? That's something people will do. He was attempting to flush out Captain or make him nervous, or at least put some damage on him. When you do that, make sure you're watching and see if the shot goes through. There's where it hit, right there. See if the shot goes through the bush, and if it does not go through the bush and you don't see it hit behind, then more than likely you have hit the guy in the bush. Now the Type 64 is poking up. I'm surprised he doesn't have 6th sense. Oh, he gets hammered. And now we've got an M4. We've got all kinds of guys poking their heads up over the fence. Hey, what's going on over here? Well, that's what's going on, fella. 966. Now this is a relatively low tier game. It's a tier 5 and tier 6 game. So there's not a whole lot of spotting damage available here. However, you can do the first two I'm going to say relatively easy, and I mean that in the context of there's enough hit points around to do the Stug LT-15 and to do the HTC or whatever that is, the T-28 prototype thinger, the TD mission. So there's plenty of hit points for that stuff. Look at these guys just getting shredded. They must see somebody because they're firing back. So I bet that Churchill's probably spotted, so he's taking shots. Here comes the Su-100. He's out in the open. And everyone's dying like flies. 1,083. 1,100. Oh, goodness. Look at the damage going in. And he has basically sat there and not shot. And that was a very wise move all the way. As long as your team is continuing to shred the spotted tanks like this, there is no reason to shoot. I've talked about in the past, though, there may be a time here soon where you might want to. T-34 is problematic. He's got pretty good spotting. There's a couple guys he doesn't know where they are. So there could very well be a TD or two a little bit closer in these bushes. And one more kill. Let's get him. 28 hit points. You might fire there. I may have thought about firing there and immediately moved and went to find more spotting. Now see how he's moving right there? So I would have taken that shot and then moved out. I would not have stopped right there. Looks like it's going to work though. He's going to kick up his binocs and maybe he can catch somebody moving. Now his spotting is busted. He's got a stir moving through, so he's not going to get the spotting anymore. He might if he goes high and he gets some line of sight. He's also got a bush up here. So here's some more bushes people tend to go. Obviously more from the other spawn, from the south spawn. When I see somebody moving ahead of me like that, I go ahead and keep moving. The other thing to think about, though, is everyone's dead or moved. The Hellcat's actually flexed to the other side, so it's just the Captain and the Sturv over here right now, and whatever arty support they may or may not have. Hard to tell. I would have surfed this line all the way down to the red line there, Captain, to see if you can't catch one of the artillery back here. It's very possible. That KV-2 is somewhere too, and it may be that's what's keeping you from YOLOing in. probably a decent thought. If he gets lucky and hits you, you're going to go down quickly. All right, there we go. That's what I'm talking about. If you backed up behind a bush and took those shots, that would probably have been a good idea. That grill's going to end up getting away. Going to end up getting away. Now this is important because the Sturv just killed the KV2. The KV2 is no longer there. There we go. Put one more into him. Nope, he died. No, he didn't die. I had to put one more into that spot. Now he dies. You need more lead fire. You're shooting right at him. That's better. There you go. Now the Sturv's moving through. So again, my point here is for more spotting, get out ahead of that guy. There's no reason not to at this point. You guys have this pretty much sewn up. So get that little light, fast tank in there, and because you hold on to your stationary camo when you move, like all scouts do, you should get up on these TDs before they see you. If they're bushed up, it's possible they might see you and get a shot first. You can see the Sturv has obviously had that problem right there. I definitely wouldn't have stopped there, but it's going to end up working for you, it looks like. There we go. Down goes that guy, down goes your Sturv, and just push in. That's all. That's what I do right there. Come on in. What is this thing? Is it a 67? Nope, it's the IKV 103. He's got a big old derp gun. He might be able to blap you as well. Try to avoid going over the circle there, because they'll know where you are. Oh, he missed. Fantastic. Just ram him. Oh, man, I'd have rammed him. That would have taken him out, probably. Uh-oh. Auto-aim ain't working out. What the? Where are we going? And it ends up being... Oh, go into the cap. Might as well grab a couple cap points while you're there. All right, man. Nice job. 646, 2,755 damage. Good enough for, at the very least. I think it's actually only good enough for the Stug mission. But there you go. A relatively low-tier scout pretty easily gets the requirements for the spotting requirements for some of the LTs. This might have actually been LT-14. I don't remember which one it is, but 2,000 I think is enough for most of the Stug scouting missions that you will have that require spotting. So that was well done right there. That bush is not nearly used as much as it used to be. The meta's kind of moved away from it, but you can see that it is still quite powerful. It's also well known, and Artie will often drop shots in it. But on the times where it works pretty well. The biggest thing for you is two things. Number one is I would have killed that KV2 off so he wasn't a problem anymore and then moved. And when you were moving forward, I would have been a little more aggressive moving forward. Had you killed the KV2, I think you may have been a little more aggressive. I think you were worried a little bit about him. And fair enough, because he would have erased your little Chaffee more than likely with one shot. Thanks for sending that in, Captain Carberry. I appreciate it. That was nicely done. Congrats on the mark and the mastery and the mission. And we will see you. Hey, yo, we just finished up with Captain Carberry, and I saw this one. I had this one in the docket as well, and I said, hey, let's go ahead and do a two-pack of low-tier scouts. So here we have, this time, Capri in his Tier 5 T50. Another fantastic little scout. This used to be one of my favorite tanks back when they had company battles. It was this, I don't remember how the setup went, but KV-1Ss and T50s and grills or something were kind of the meta. That was a long, long time ago. I want to say 5-6 years ago. Was one of my favorite tanks, but still a pretty capable little scout. So we're going to see another example of low-tier scout play. We'll find out what Capri's going to do. He's going to duel an Oni. Now I'm scared for him, but I know it goes well. I think it goes well. What's he got? He's got a Nashorn right there, and he kind of shoots, and then boom, somebody gets hit, and the Oni is sitting there, and we have a little scout anchoring the forward lines. All right, so this is a first look. I haven't seen this. Holy cow! He's in the frag pattern because somebody was spotted. There's the Oni. Get some lights. Now I'm wondering if he has Sixth Sense. It's possible he does not. Let's find out. I don't think he does. He's lighting people and they're not seeing him. Oh yeah, he doesn't have Sixth Sense. Well, that's gutsy. Capri, frontline fighter, no Sixth Sense. It's not Glacier. What is this place? Mannerheim line. Oh, the Oni. That was a sure erasure right there had he been hit. And the artillery's ignoring him. Hey, artillery, how come you ignore him and not me if I'm in that spot? I don't get it. There's the Oni making a run for it. And Capri is just lighting, just getting some lights, getting some spotting. Although he's not getting any spotting. None of that is for him. Holy cow, now the artillery is paying attention. And he bounces off the... That's a gutsy little guy, isn't it? Look at that little T-50 taking on that Oni. Punk, you got nothing on me. Okay, we're heading out over here. What are we doing? We got a Panzer Fizzle 5 thing, or 4, I guess. We got an Oni. We got guys pushing the Oni. We got another scout pushing in. We got a Hellcat up on the hill. And here we go. The little bug, the T-50, is moving in. Panzer Fizzle thing has moved. Hey, Capri, one thing I want to tell you right here is I would be looking that way while I'm driving so I see what's going on. Maybe take a shot on that dude as I go, or take a shot on one of these guys. You got a highlight on him. You might as well shoot while you're moving. There you go. Now we're talking. Now we're talking. Oh, down that guy goes. Oh, look out. Here he comes. Here he comes. So not really a spotting game as a light tank, but it looks like more of a hunt the arty game. This used to be the sport of kings. It used to be the absolute mission of lights. It's much more difficult lately to do, but he's managed to figure out a way through. I've done some videos lately on exploiting seams in the defense, and here we are. Mad Dog in a meat market. Wait, I don't know if I would have stopped. Yeah, that's why. And then the other guy is the M4 and whatnot. Man, it takes a while for this thing to kill an arty, doesn't it? Sheesh. There he is. There's the other guy. Are we trying to auto aim? What are we doing here? No, we're moving away. Oh, we're going to go hide in a hole. Okay, go hide in a hole. Probably worried the bishop was reloaded. I think I'd have dueled him. You probably could have beat that guy. He'd have got one more shot on you. Unlikely that he would have pinned you. And now we're going to... Oh, you're not going to leave the arty. Oh, it looks like he's leaving. Is he trying to be tricky? Is he trying to make it look like he left? Wow. Very clever. Don't, oh, no. That. Well, that's sort of... What the... Never mind. Are we lumberjacking? What's happening here? There we go. Now we're coming in on this bishop. Now we own this guy. Yeah, he can't turn nearly fast enough, so we can just park right here and own him. Down he goes. 3 tanks left, 426 damage, 164. Just another example. Like I said, this is a first look. My assumption was it was a pretty good spotting game, but it looks like what we are showing here is how to sneak in and kill artillery, which I support 100% of the time. 100% of the time. We're going to come around this way. And a lot of times I like to show games like this. Obviously I didn't know what was on this because it's a first look. But the lower tier games, the games where you didn't do 5,000, 6,000, this is more the work-a-day game. This is the more common game. And it shows an ability to kind of get in and be useful as a little tiny scout, get some things done, get some damage, be part of the winning team, even when you're not the guy that's doing, you know, in this case, 1,500 in your T50, right? Hey, Guido, here's an awesome game. I do 1,800 in my T50 and 9 kills or whatever. All right, that's cool. I mean, that's a great game and everything, but you don't do that all the time, do you? So a more common game is 496 with 346 spotting, which is actually pretty good. Takes out both arty, very useful to the team right there. Isn't a complete YOLO buffoon driving straight through the map and yelling I'm scouting and then dying 2 seconds later. So nicely done, Capri. Thanks for sending in. I do appreciate that. A kind of a nice juxtaposition to the one before, actually, even though it was unplanned. 2 different kinds of ways to play a scout, the active and the passive, or the passive and the active in the order I showed them. Again, thanks, man. I appreciate that. For everybody else, thanks for tuning in, and we will see you.